What's one of the biggest challenges of managing a fleet of trucks, tractor trailers, and material handling equipment? Hassling with maintenance, repair, and vehicle breakdown. Trans Service's dedicated contract maintenance service, DCM, takes that hassle away. We maintain your fleet, no matter what the configuration, to the highest standards, while giving you the greatest cost control. We offer preventative maintenance executed to maximum utilization, equipment life, and necessary repairs, all tracked by a state-of-the-art paperless computerized system. Assistance with equipment engineering, configuration, including new engine technology, and onboard computers for your fleet, as well as dedicated fleet contract maintenance. Dedicated on-site service facilities staffed with management and certified maintenance technicians, inventories of parts, tires, and fluids, and all necessary shop equipment, diagnostic tools, and technology. Supporting services such as equipment inspections and assistance with meeting regulatory requirements, DOT, OSHA, EPA. Contact us today to learn about our turnkey contract maintenance solutions. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Just getting qualifying wrapped up here after watching the patented paints Scott Patton on the pole. Looking at that real quick here, it's putting words right in my mouth. But the patented paints pre-race show, say that 5 times fast. Scott Patton right up there on the top of the board. You can take a quick peek here at the qualifying grid as we get everything rocking and rolling, getting ready to go here. James Lehman, we talked to him before the race, starting on the outside of that 46 Miller Lite car. Scott Patton doing one heck of a job, very little practice, got to the track a little bit late, jumped right up here in the booth here, and we can see has a pretty good setup underneath that car. Going to start up on the pole position. Jeff Merck, Wesley Holland going to start in row 2. Brian Abbott and Andrew Schulte right in behind them. Keith Haney, Ken Murder, Kyle Chadwick, and Charlie Widener rounding out the top 10 starters here tonight. 25 cars here at Darlington Raceway. Looking like it's going to be one heck of a show as you see the rest of the qualifying grid go through on your screen there. Talked to a couple of drivers here before the race. Survival is going to be the name of the game here tonight at Darlington Raceway. Very tricky racetrack, and it's one of those racetracks where, you get the nickname Darlington Stripe. It's one of those deals where the high line may be faster for some of these drivers, but a lot of times you got to take a peek and look out for that high line because it'll bite you. The racetrack will come out and just grab that race car and pull it up into the wall and just not let go. And that's going to be one of the things that the driver is going to have to take a look at throughout the evening here tonight. But we're lined up on the front straightaway there, right on that start-finish line, waiting for these drivers to get out to the race cars. Again, 25 strong here for the very first race of the playoffs. 16 races to crown a champion here for the next 16 weeks. And we're going to be covering the action here Thursday nights for the Multi-League Cup Series all the way through to the finish of the season come November. And man, oh man, is it going to be exciting. Watching these drivers now under pace speed, following the pace car for a quick pace lap, and then we're going to turn them loose for 100 laps here at Darlington Raceway. And again, it's a racetrack where the name of the game is going to be survival. Follow along there on the left-hand side of your screen, the Verdane TV scoring tower, and we'll be watching these guys all night long here tonight. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth, rocking a little solo. Shout out to Mike James from Up Up and Rock and from Eastbound Park there. He's at a little girl's birthday party. Happy birthday to his daughter. Better him than me. I would rather be up here in the booth calling a racetrack, but it all works out pretty good. We'll be back here with Mikey next week. But man, oh man, pace car is going to dip off. There he goes, taking the safety course down onto pit road, and we're going to turn them loose here. Scott Patton, James Lehman, we're getting ready to do battle here at Darlington Raceway for 100 laps, and there we go, already wrecking. It looks like Andrew Schulte spins the tires, collects a couple of other drivers. We're still green at this point. Looks like those drivers are, in fact, out of the racing groove. They're going to grab a gear and get going. There you can see it's the 82 car involved as well. A couple of drivers down on pit road as well. So that's a tough break, and that's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on here at Darlington throughout the night on the restarts. Very, very loose cars, very, very loose setups, and once you hit that throttle down, it's really going to rip that car around in a big way. So that's definitely a tough break for those guys. Going to need a caution here later on to try and get those drivers caught back up. But in the meantime, James Lehman gets around Scott Patton, and you can see he's got about an 8-car length lead here as we work lap number 2. 100 laps on the docket here tonight, working lap number 2, and we've already seen a little bit of race of attrition here as these drivers getting big time loose as they hammer down on the throttle, and that's going to be something that you have to put in the old notebook for later on in the race. You want to make sure that you kind of ease into the throttle. You don't want to rip that car around at any time really throughout the racetrack here. So it's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on, and the driver's going to have to keep an eye on here as well at Darlington. And you can see about a half second, almost 0.6 of a second lead there for James Lehman in the 05 coming up on the 5 car of Eric Talon. Looks like he actually started the race on pit road, so a little bit late to the party, missed the starting grid. May very well have been on purpose. A lot of these drivers like to kind of stay in the back, avoid any kind of calamity or trouble, and we've already seen that here right on the start. But working lap number 4 here and getting ready to finish up here lap number 4, coming out of the turns. And we talked to Scott and we talked to a couple of drivers before the race, and they already knew before we finished up practice that attrition was going to be the name of the game here tonight. And you can see the 5 car, oh, big wiggle there for the 05 of Lehman. That's going to close Scott Patton right up to his back bumper. Oh, big wiggle coming out of the turn number 2. And that's going to be something we're going to be watching all night long, especially when the tires start to get worn out, tires start to get hot and slick. A little bit of puff of smoke there. We'll see if we can find out who did that. But battle for the lead starting to heat up. Scott Patton had it, lost it on the start, and he wants it back now, chasing down James Lehman here. You can see Ken Huber in the background getting around the 88 of Kyle Chadwick, picking up a quick position there, moving him into the top 5. And the racetrack is very spread out at this point. Drivers giving it a little bit of room and learning the racetrack, learning the setup, learning the car. Only a half-hour practice here before the race. We did have a 2-hour happy hour session with these drivers just a few hours ago here at the racetrack, and it's a good opportunity for these guys to kind of feel everything out. But now that 05 of James Lehman has gotten around that pace car, or gotten around that lap car of Eric Talon, got that clean air on the nose again. Ooh, and just as I say, he was getting ready to make some distance on the 46. Big wiggle out of turn number 2. Holds on to the back end of that race car and keeps the hammer down. But still about a half a second lead over Scott Patton. And let's see if we can take a peek here around the race car, the 82 car of Brian Abbott, one of the drivers that kind of got spun around there on the start of the race. There you see the 95 Spam car, Charlie Widener. He's running 9th. Great to see a good run there. And as we sift through these drivers and kind of sort through and look at where everybody's running, you'll notice there on the top of the hood, or the top of the windshield, on the rear spoiler, and on the bottom splitter, there's a red stripe. And that signifies, there you can see the 16 logo there on the A-post as well. That signifies that those drivers are in the playoffs. They're in the championship hunt. All the other drivers around the racetrack can see that too. It's definitely a good call by the multi-league drivers to kind of put that red stripe all the way around the race car. A couple of different spots you can see that. In many cases you'll see just the windshield banner. But it's tough to see a windshield banner when you're behind somebody. So great call by the administration team here, putting the red stripes on the splitter, red stripes on the spoiler there to let all these other drivers know, let the fans know, and let us know up here in the booth that those particular drivers are in the playoffs. And we'll be seeing that, and it's one of those deals. Oh, a little contact again. The 82 big-time hit, slams into the inside wall down in the bottom of the racetrack. Charlie Widener appears to be involved as well. That's going to bring out a caution. There you see Jay Smoke in the 58. He's going to nose right into the wall down there, and it looks like he may have actually gotten stuck in that SRX car. He is in fact stuck in that safer barrier. So we're gonna have to back that up, take a peek here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and find out just what it was that happened here. But we'll back up the replay and we're gonna take a look through the tape and see exactly what happened, because that was a couple of big hits here. And the first thing, we're actually going to take a look at the 82 of Brian Abbott. I believe that's where the incident kind of started just a bit, but we'll take a peek here from the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. There you see the 82 heading into the turn. The Kool-Aid Man up on the top. Oh yeah, he's going to come around the high side here, comes out of the corner, and I believe everything clean there. Slows up in a big way coming out of the corner, out of turn 4, crosses the stripe, and there you see. Well, I guess I made the wrong call there, because Jason Hughes was actually already in the wall at that point. So we'll back it up again. Not a problem. We got a little bit of time here. And there you can see the Bad Apple racing car stuck in the wall. And coming out of turn number 4, that's where the incident was, right about the start-finish line. And there's the contact, and just kind of a almost lazy half a spin there as he gets sent into the wall. So that's a tough break here at Darlington. See if we can get this slowed down and see what number is the 87. The 87 of Keith Haney, the Third Rock Racing Machine that was around there on the start-finish line. And that's you think that's a weird spot to have a wreck, but coming out of turn number 4, it's really tough. There you see, slams the wall, gets into the 95 of Widener. Both those drivers make contact with the inside safer barrier on pit wall and go from there. And pit stop's already happening here as we bring it back to the live shot. And 2 drivers elected to stay out. Looks like Ken Richardson, Jeff Gilmore, they stay out. All the other drivers coming off of pit road now, led by Scott Patton. Scott Patton gets around James Lehman. Jeff Merck, winner a few weeks ago, the birthday boy, comes out in top 5. And Wesley Holland, Kyle Chadwick, Ken Huber, Jason Garrett, and Mike Erder, the top 10 off pit road. Ken Richardson and Jeff Gilmore look like they're going to come down pit road here. So might have just stayed out to get a little TV time, get a little bit of lap lead bonus, and they're going to come down, get some service to the machine, and that's going to hand the lead right on over to Scott Patton. And we'll see real quick here if we can maybe pull Scott up into the booth and talk to him real quick. And man, oh man, you went from 22nd on the board all the way up to a starting spot at the front row, at the front spot, and you're leading the race right now. Scott, what do you got for us so far after lap 13?
So far, so good. I think that just proves I definitely cannot talk and drive at the same time. So. If I can just drive, looks like a good start so far with some of our teammates there from Bandit, Lehman, and Mark behind us here. So good top 3 going so far, and hopefully keep the fenders on this thing. Got the wall once already, so trying to keep the nerves in check and keep the wall in check and stay off it, and hopefully we'll be around for the finish.
Yeah, and you and I talked a little bit before the race here with some of the driver survival seemed to be the key word, and it looks like we're seeing that throughout the race. Couple of small incidences, but outside the racing groove, so that's definitely good news there. Are we loose out of the corners, it looks like, coming through? What's the track feel like right now?
Yeah, very, very loose. I don't know if the temperature's higher than normal or something, or these new setups, but very loose off these corners. It's kind of half throttle, because if you get on the full throttle, I think you probably saw on the start there, just spinning the tires. That's kind of threw me off on the start, where guys in the back of the field went sideways. I saw guys go flying to the inside wall. I let off the gas because I figured the yellow was coming out, let Lehman by, and that's where we got kind of all crossed up there, but definitely loose on the throttle and the exits.
I'll keep all 4 tires on the track. Looks like the lights are off on a pace car. We're lined up 2 by 2, so it's time to get back to work.
Sounds good. See ya.
Scott Patton, driver of the number 46 car, owner of Patented Paints. Be sure to check him out on Facebook, facebook.com/Patented Paints. Official painter of the Multi-League Series, and these guys race 7 days a week, twice on Sunday, so be sure to check them out on Facebook. Looking for new drivers here as we get close to the end of the season here. We say close, it's kind of a loaded term. Still 16 races. There you see the round of 16 logo there on the A post of the race car, and you can see the red spoilers, the red splitters, and the red windshield banners showing that these drivers are in the round of 16 playoffs. So great to have that little key up here in the booth, and it's easy enough for the fans to follow along as well. But restart, again, spinning the tires on the restart. Looks like Michael Milfeld Jr. Nope, he gets on by. That's going to be the 41 car of Wesley Holland, spinning the tires up into the wall, and that's going to send some of these drivers into a tibby. A lot of drivers trying to avoid the calamity there on the start. And again, another one of these red banner cars, one of these playoff cars, having a little trouble on the restart. And it's a lot of times at these racetracks, drivers will elect to start in second gear. And it seems like Darlington, it might be one of those third gear racetracks where you don't want to spin the tires and just kind of ease into it. get that car up to full sauce before you start making any kind of evasive maneuvers. But again, that's why I'm up here in the booth, and these drivers are down here on the racetrack doing battle at Darlington, working lap number 16 of 100 here at Darlington Raceway. Battle is for second. James Lehman in the 05 Valvoline paint scheme there, right behind his teammate Scott Patton from Bandit Racing. Jeff Merck there in third. Kyle Chadwick holding on to the fourth position. He's up 5 spots already from where he qualified. And Ken Huber rounding out the top 5. Biggest movers of the race, Bill Paradise and Michael Milfeld Jr. both up 11 positions respectively. Milfeld in 8th, and it looks like Bill Paradise holding on to the 13th spot. And awesome action all the way across the racetrack here. And we're just taking a peek at the top 3, top 4 drivers here. Top 5, top 6, kind of in a way, breaking away here. Jason Garrett in the 79 car holding on to that lead pack. And all throughout the pre-race show, we heard survival, the name of the game here at Darlington. And you can see Lehman's going to take a peek down low, see if he can get a little big wiggle, hold on to it. And he does, but he is going to lose that second position to Jeff Merck, who gets right up onto the back bumper of Scott Patton. Great run there for the number 60 machine. And another big wiggle for James Lehman. Very, very loose in that 05 car. And it looks like he may very well lose fourth position. Third position, check that, to Ken Huber in that Caterpillar number 30 car. And you can see he thinks better of it. He's going to tuck into the tire tracks here. He's going to wait and get some heat into the tires and kind of wait for the car to come to him. And you can see some of these drivers coming off of turn 2. Big time loose, big wiggles, big movement coming out of the back end of the race car. So everybody trying to hold on for dear life here. And we made mention on the pre-race show and throughout the broadcast here so far, survival's the name of the game, man. Darlington is a tough racetrack to try and get around, and some of these drivers really do like it, and other drivers are really looking forward to next week. So, but great racing here at Darlington. Everything looking clean and green here so far, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in here on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, everywhere that we are broadcasting to here this evening. You're watching Multi-League Cup Series racing action here at Darlington. Lap 21 in the books already, and it looks like Jeff Merck trying to get up on the back bumper. He's going to go all the way up on the high side to try and get around, try and get that lead. And you can see he's got that red banner too. He is in the playoffs trying to make the magic happen and trying to get as many. Oh, Scott Patton to the wall, makes contact with Jeff Merck. They both save it. Holy cow, what a save for both of those drivers. Jeff Merck going to lose a lot of positions, as is Scott Patton, making big time contact. That car was 90 degrees sideways. 90 degrees sideways, and both drivers saved it. That is a testament to how good these drivers are here in the Multi-League Cup Series here on Thursday night. And you're only going to see him here on Bedane TV. Andrew Schulte trying to get up and pick up one more position on the 41 car. Oh, the 41 car gets up into the wall. Andrew Schulte getting his Darlington stripe, and that's going to allow the Kellogg's car to get on around fourth position. Andrew Schulte moving up into that position. Wesley Holland struggling with the handling on the 41 car, almost hits the wall one more time there, but thinks better of it, backs off the throttle just a bit, and seeing a lot of cars really struggling with that wall. One driver in the top 10 we haven't talked about here too much tonight is that number 25 of Daniel Ferguson, having a great run, holding on to the 7th position. He's up 7 spots from where he qualified just 25 laps ago. Hard to think we're already a quarter of the way through this race already. But man, oh man, these guys are putting on one heck of a clinic here. James Lehman out front after some issues with the 2 leaders of Scott Patton, Ken, and Jeff Merck. But James Lehman now a commanding lead, holding on to it there in the 05 car. It's about a half-second lead over Ken Huber. Ken Huber up to the 2nd spot. Kyle Chadwick up to 3rd. Jason Garrett, haven't talked about him too much all race long in the number 79 car. He's been easing that car up closer and closer to the front, now running in the 4th position. He's up 7 spots from where he qualified. And there you see Scott Patton dropping all the way back to 5th here in the 46 Miller Lite car after that contact. And he's got Darlington stripes all the way around that race car. That is a tough break. And we saw just how loose these cars are off of turn 4 during the pre-race show. Did a little onboard action with that 46 car of Scott Patton. And it's something that all these drivers are going to be struggling with all night long here at Darlington. Very excited to be following the championship battle throughout the next 16 weeks here on Verdane TV. Check these guys out on Facebook, the multi-league racing group, a couple of different leagues working together with them. We're trying to get the old eastbound crew up in here. There's a little off the pace action there for the 25 of Daniel Ferguson. Was running very, very well, but it looks like he's going to drop all the way back to the 11th position. But Eastbound Racing, they're going to be coming up here. We're working on a special show for those guys to kind of kick off the autumn months here. It's September 2nd here in Connecticut at Verdane HQ, and it's almost chilly out. It's very, very cool. We got the remnants that kind of went through from tropical post-cyclone Ida last night. We were able to finish up a doubleheader last night with the Tim's Corner Motorsports Tim's Corner Live episode 30 with the Oxford 250 champion, as well as Brent Roy, a good friend of ours from the Nets Racing League, and also up in Speedway 660 up in Canada, kind of going through all of their racing action throughout the next couple of months. And it's great to see. We got through all that. Had a tornado watch up here in the booth, but we still brought you the action here live and entertaining the masses as nobody else can. But these guys having a great run here at Darlington. One car, leader up into the wall. Lehman getting his Darlington race stripe, and Ken Huber's going to open the door. He's going to boot that door down, take a peek down on the inside, try and get some clean air on the nose and make it happen on the bottom side. It looked like Kyle Chadwick getting ready to follow him on down there, but unfortunately didn't quite have enough oomph. In the wall again for Lehman. He's going to go down underneath that dash line, lose the lead here as he still struggles to hold on to the race car. He's going to lose 2 spots. Ken Huber now to the point, give that lap to the 30 Caterpillar car. Kyle Chadwick in the 88 Toyota Camry, the Air Jordan car, into the 2nd spot. Lehman back to 3rd, and we can see his teammate Scott Patton a little bit further on back, about 2 seconds back from the leader, and he's got the 79 car of Jason Garrett right in behind him. And Patton is struggling with that car. He's doing the best he can. Lots of damage all the way through. It looks like almost looks like a crinkled up Miller Lite can. After you finish it up, you smack it on top of your head, and then you're done with it. Jeff Merck going to come down pit road in that 60 Skeeter Boats car. Not entirely sure if that's a scheduled pit stop here. That's one of the things we should have asked the drivers here on the our pre-race show, rather, the Patented Paints pre-race show, to see if what the fuel race or the fuel mileage was, but didn't quite think of that. That's one of the things we'll have to add to the notebook for next week. Next Thursday Night Live here on Verdane TV as we follow the Multi-League Cup Series into their championship hunt. But there you see the leader, Ken Huber, out front, that 30 Caterpillar car. Looking good, looking clean, looking mean. And he's got the 88 of Kyle Chadwick in his draft just a little bit, about 5-6 car lengths back. And this is the part of the race where we're going to see a lot of the drivers kind of ease on back, struggling with tires. We did see these drivers come down about 20 laps, go under caution to get some tires and some fuel. But it's Darlington, you want tires every 4 laps. It's really, really tough on the tires. Taking a quick peek at the track map, you can kind of see a little bit of conveyor belt action going on here. As we see, you've got 1-2 drivers up towards the front. Front 3 through 7 are kind of in a pack. 8 through 10 are kind of in a little pack. 11th place is all by himself. And then a little pack towards the back of the racetrack. So, neat little trick here we've got. Thank you to SDK Gaming helping us out here. And you're also seeing some camera angles from Track Cams 22. Gourmet track cams for iRacing. Be sure to check them out, trackcams22.com. Very gracious enough to allow us to use those here at Verdane TV, and we use them every single one of these oval races that we call. And you can see the battle for the lead starting to heat up once again. Kyle Chadwick starting to close in on the back bumper of that 30 Caterpillar machine, and big time wiggle coming out of the turn there. He drops back just a little bit, so he's 5 or 6 car lengths back, but you can see all the way up by that wall on that high line, trying to make the magic happen and try and close in on our leader. sifting through the field here, just taking a look at some of the more exciting battles here on the track. You see James Hearns. We talked to him in the pre-race show as Andrew Schultz on the 81 car comes down pit road to get service to his machine. Talking to the driver of the 78, he is again one of the drivers that wants to kind of try and survive here, running 12th right now. He's going to pick up a couple of positions here as there's drivers coming down pit road. Andrew Schultz, we made mention, the 79 of Jason Garrick as well. And you can see, up in the wall is the 78, and the Tim Hortons car right behind him gets off the throttle. It looks like right now it makes a little bit of contact. The Kool-Aid Man on the hood of the car. That's hopefully it doesn't bust down any walls, as entertaining as that would be. But man, oh man, that Third Rock Racing car. A couple of dings and dents there on the right-hand side, but still holding on to a 13th place position is Brian Abbott, and we'll see what he can do throughout the rest of the race. Still status quo up front. Ken Huber up in the front. The 88 of Kyle Chadwick still trying to close in to the back bumper and try and get up and around that number 30 Caterpillar car. And it's one of those things where we're coming up on a green flag pit stops. As we can see, still 17 cars here on the lead lap. A couple of drivers electing to come down pit road under green flag conditions to get some tires, get a little bit of damage fixed, and maybe buff out that Darlington stripe just a little bit. And you can see the 88 trying to go high, trying to go low, trying to get a little bit of clean air on the front of that car. Working lap number 38 of 100, almost 4/10 of the way through this race, clicking off the laps very, very quickly. And you can see lap car getting, he's got the fresher tires, so he is much quicker, and that's going to be the change for the lead. Kyle Chadwick to the point. Ken Huber back to second. 79 in and out car of Jason Garrett just came down pit road, so he's got some, big time wiggle for Kyle Chadwick all the way down on the inside. That was just letting Ken Huber get the lead back with a little bit of style. Kyle Chadwick, phenomenal job in that 88 car, holding on to that thing. This racetrack very, very loose coming out of the corners. He is going to hold on to the second position, third place, about 3 seconds behind our leader, Scott Patton, holding on to that spot. And you can see Andrew Schultz on the 81 Kellogg's ride gets on around him. Fresher tires, much quicker all the way through this racetrack, through this field. James Hearn, the 78 car, back in 12th. There you see Charlie Widener in 7th, kind of holding on to this group of cars. There's 25 of Ferguson, Charlie Widener kind of doing battles. So there's small battles all the way around this racetrack. And we made mention Jeff Merck going to dip down low. He's got fresher tires. He's going to be the first car one lap down in 19th. There is Jeff Merck, and there he is spinning around. That's going to bring out caution at lap number 2. Looked away from the racetrack 1 second just to take a quick sip of coffee, and we missed the action. But luckily, we've got the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. We're going to back that up and find out what in the world happened to that number 60 car. Big time damage as he plows into the inside safer barrier there on pit road. It's a good thing it's there. It's protecting the drivers or the pit crews there. But we'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay here for the second time of the evening and see exactly what happened. And here you see it coming out of the corner, the 60 of Jeff Merck down on the bottom side, and gets a little bit loose coming out of the corner. A little bit of contact there with the wall. That's going to be the 87 car. He bounces off the wall and then bounces into Jeff Merck, and unfortunately Merck slams that nose into the inside safer barrier. Doesn't look like that big of a hit at quarter speed here, but man, oh man, that is not good for the engine. But one of the things that is good for pit stops. All of these drivers coming on down here and getting ready to get some more service to their race cars. And there you can see it. Everybody coming down. They want some service. They want tires. They want fuel. And they want some of the damage dinged out here because they want to be able to get around this racetrack without any kind of issues. And everybody coming on down, thundering down pit road. There you see Kenny Huber pulling in. He's going to get some attention from his crew. The 88 of Kyle Chadwick is in. The 95, pretty much everybody at this point is in the racetrack or in pit road. Top 17 down on pit road now at this point. There you see a war-battered 41 car driving by on your screen. There's the Folgers 21 of Kim Quick. Talked to him in the pre-race show. He is Not really looking forward to this racetrack. Survival, one of the key words we heard a lot of the drivers talk about here. But still getting service. Man, there's a lot of war-damaged race cars. There's the 82 missing the back end of his race car of Brian Abbott here. Second caution, lap 43. Gonna get the restart probably about lap 45 or so. And you can take a look at your leader. There you see him, Ken Huber. Comes out of pit road on top of the board. Scott Patton comes in second. Kyle Chadwick, Wesley Holland, James Lehman in the top 5. Michael Milfeld Jr. up to 6th. We talked to him in the pre-race show. Charlie Widener 7th. Andrew Schulte is actually still on pit road. So Kim Quick going to be in 8th position. Daniel Ferguson and Christopher Davis going to be the top 10 as they come off pit road. And we can take a quick peek here at the stint length. How long these drivers have come down, and you can see everybody came down on the top 15 rather came down on the lap 11 caution, and everybody came down again here on the lap 43 caution. So 31 laps. Something we know these drivers definitely can make it throughout the race here. 31 laps. They can probably go just a little bit longer, but that's going to be something that we're going to see in the notebook later on in the race. And we'll take a quick peek here at the pit road times here as well, because it's one of the things that you got to be fast on the racetrack, but you also have to be fast on pit road. And you can see a couple of 15-second stops there in the top 3. Wesley Holland has a good stop with a 14.8, 14.7 for James Lehman there in the top 5. And you can see those changed positions there on the far right-hand side of your screen is from the beginning of the race. And you can see Milfeld Jr. up 13 spots. Hearns in the 11th position. He's up 10 spots here tonight. And Ken Huber up 7 spots into the lead here as we approach halfway. So great battling all the way throughout this field here. Great battling on pit road as well. And a couple of drivers still sitting on pit road getting some damage repaired. Ken Huber up front. Scott Patton right up next to him, and lights off on the iRacing pace car. Getting ready to do battle once again. Gotta love what iRacing's done here with the service, allowing these leagues to do quickie yellows. Doesn't really give us much time to talk to any of the drivers or go over the replays or look at pit stops, but it gets us right back to green flag action, and that is what we are looking for here in Darlington Raceway with the Multi-League Cup Series. And you're watching it live on Verdane TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. Give us a shout on social media, all the different outlets, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Check out our YouTube page. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. 550, over 550 live iRacing replays on demand at your fingertips. You can watch all the action, and we are booking shows for the fall and the winter months here at Verdane TV. Lots of exciting stuff coming up here, especially this restart. There you see the pace car down on pit road. We're going to watch these tires, watch the gears. Looks like everybody's got it figured out. Good, clean restart throughout the entire field. Ken Huber with the cleanest of the restarts out front. He's going to get on through the gears as he comes out of turn number 2, and he's got about a 4/10 lead now over Kyle Chadwick, new second place car. Scott Patton drops back in line to 3rd, and you can see Ken Huber up front, regular banner up on the top. 3 cars behind him have that red banner to show that they are in the playoffs. So that's going to be something we're going to be keeping an eye on here as well. With those playoff banners, you win the race. You automatically move on to the next round of 3. And we've got a couple of short tracks here coming up following the NASCAR schedule. So it's going to be very awesome. It's a little bit of a preview kind of the NASCAR Cup Series on Sundays here with the Multi-League Cup Series. But the Cup Series, the NASCAR Cup Series, doesn't have paint schemes as cool as these guys, because they don't have Scott Patton putting these paint schemes together. Patented Paints, be sure to check them out on Facebook. Little side-by-side action. Great to see that 41 with a big recovery. Wesley Holland all the way back up to 4th after an earlier race incident, slapping the wall pretty hard with that right-hand side. Gets around the 05 of James Lehman, and Lehman going to be able to hold on to the top 5 for now. But looking in his rear view mirror, he's got that spam can, the number 95, Charlie Widener, closing in on him. And it's one of those deals. Oh, the 41 up into the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow Lehman to go by and kind of close this field up just a little bit. Michael Milfeld Jr., he had some problems earlier on tonight in the 123 car. He is holding on to the 7th spot. Kim Click, talked to him earlier on in the Patented Paints pre-race show. The number 21 Folders car up to 8th. Great to see him running in the top 10. and Christopher Davis, James Hearns, pair of Canadians. There's the Tim Horton number 38 car, and a little bit of position happening there from 78. Haviland gets Vern Bargheim, the regular series champion, gets on around him to break into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. But still Ken Huber up in front, riding on board. You can hear just how long these drivers are out of the throttle coming into the corners, and that's one of the things where you really don't want to burn up the right tire. Pardon me. As we race through halfway here, lap number 50 in the book, 50 down, 50 to go here at Darlington. And we've made mention survival in the name of the game here tonight, but relatively clean racing throughout the first 50 laps. Couple of incidents, small incidences, but nothing too crazy, and these drivers able to really make the magic happen here at Darlington Raceway. Taking a peek here at the notes, looks like Daniel Ferguson had some trouble jump to the pit road and had to call the tow truck. But we are still clean and green. Kyle Chadwick up into the wall just a little bit, going to allow Scott Patton to take a peek up on the high side and try and get up and around him, but he thinks better of it. Going to tuck in the tire tracks one more time to try and get up and around him, get a little bit closer before he tries and makes that pass. And you can see James Lehman in the 4th position, just a little bit further back, with Wesley Holland now in the top 5 in that 41 car, and that's great to see here after having an earlier race incident. A little bit of damage on that race car, but making it happen in the 41 Ford. The first car up in the top 5, that is a Ford. He's the highest running Ford here. A pair of Chevys up in 1 and 2, then a pair of Toyotas, and then Wesley Holland here in the 41 car. And you can see just up on that wall, and you can see as we kind of sift through, there's Charlie Widener in the 95 Spam Can. But TV on the deck lid, we always appreciate that. Good to see drivers supporting us here at the network. But you can see as we sift through the top 10 cars, lots of damage throughout the field. Lots of damage on the right-hand sides of the car, especially. Here you see some damage in the right front of the 123 car of Michael Milfeld Jr. Kim Quick actually looks relatively clean on the left-hand side of the car. We'll see what the camera looks like on the right side. Still relatively clean. So that's one of the things we're going to have to keep an eye on here at Darlington. Not a very aerodynamic dependent track. We've seen here in the Cup Series and many times here on Verdane TV as well in the iRacing world that these drivers are able to really slam these cars around and get, as we look at Jeff Merck on pit road after that damage, looks like he may very well be done here for the evening. Still Ken Huber up front by about a half a second over Scott Patton, who's trying to close on in on his back bumper here. And with the damage here on a lot of these race cars, we've seen Scott Patton get up into the wall once or twice. Looks like the 30 car, Ken Huber, is relatively clean all the way around. There's a good shot thanks to our camera crew here at Darlington. But with the damages on the race cars, it doesn't really seem like it affects a lot of these drivers too much. Kyle Chadwick, we've seen, didn't really hit the wall, but he got big time loose there a couple of laps ago. Speaking of big time loose, James Lehman holding on to it coming out of turn 4, the back end of the race car. That's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on here too as the race gets on and as these runs, these green flag runs get longer and longer. Loose again there for the 05 car. Really burns up the right rear tire. You see Kyle Chadwick big time loose coming off the corner. Almost hits up into the wall, but he grabs a hold of it. And it really shows just how good these drivers are. They know exactly how to kind of save these race cars if they get up into the wall, get a little bit out of shape. And you see the 41 all the way up to the wall, but didn't quite touch it. And that's a big testament of just how difficult this racetrack is to drive. And awesome to have these guys here with us here on a Thursday night. You're watching the Multi-League Cup Series here on Verdane TV. Easy enough for me to say. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth and talked to a lot of these drivers again before the race and the Patent and Paints pre-race shows you right on board with the 41 Wesley Holland, and they said survival is the name of the game. And James Lehman, you saw another shot there out front, loose coming out of turn number 4, trying to hold on to that race car for all it's worth. And you can see, a little bit of a kiss to the wall there by the 41 car, but he holds on to it, and that is difficult to do. in both real life and in the iRacing world. And there you can see the 78 car, James Hearns. He's up into the wall. He's going to gather it back up, drop a couple of spots. He's holding on to 14th right now, but there you can see a lot of these drivers kind of all the way through here from 14th up through 10, just kind of holding on to it. You can see there's the regular season champion there at the 33 of Vern Markheim, holding on to a 10th position, trying to survive the night, it looks like. And Andrew Schulte back in the 11th position there in the 81. Brian Abbott in 12th. Jeff Gilmore, James Hearns, and James Brown going through the 15, the top 15 cars there. David Schreck and Bill Paradise, the 16th and 17th place cars, the final cars on the lead lap. And still status quo out front, Ken Huber getting chased down by Scott Patton. Working lap number 62 of 100 here for the Multi-League Cup Series action at Darlington Raceway. Ken Huber out front, Scott Patton trying to chase him down. We'll take a lap here with that 46 car. We did it here in the pre-race. We got a little commentary from the driver of the 46 car. We're not going to ask for commentary under green flag conditions, but you can see here just how smooth Scott is on the wheel all the way up by that high side, trying to chase down the leader, Ken Huber, in that number 30 car. And if you got eggshells underneath your feet, underneath that throttle, you really, really have to be careful on it. Let off way early, let the car kind of coast on and drift up towards that outside wall, and then ease back onto the throttle. And you can see just a little bit of a wiggle, and you're not even really full throttle until about a third of the way down the front stretch. And almost very, very similar here on the back stretch as well. Eggshells going in on that high side especially, and just easing back in, easing back in, easing back in, full throttle now. So it's definitely something for these drivers. You can tell who's done a little bit of practice, who's kind of struggled with it just a little bit. Look how close these drivers get up to that wall coming into the corners, especially coming out here right up into the black or the red and white walls there, and even all the way through them. We just defied physics there. A little bit of a wiggle there for the Patton machine, up into the wall once again. Put a Darlington stripe on his Darlington stripe, but still able to hold on to second. Going to lose a lot of time to the leader, Ken Huber. Now about a second and a half, second and third back, but it's another 3 seconds or so back to third place. So these drivers starting to get really spread out, and tires starting to wear off just a bit. And it's going to be, again, we're going to have to take a peek and look out for some of these drivers as they come around. You can take a look at our track map, almost a little bit of a conveyor belt type deal as we get around the racetrack, very spread out throughout the field. And you can see the 17th place car is Bill Paradise. He's going to be entering 3 and 4, or coming out of turn 4 as the leader comes into turn number 3. So within the next couple of laps, we might see a couple more cars go a lap down. One of the neat tools we have here from SDK Gaming here, thanks to them helping us out on Verdane TV. And there you can see the distance, the gap between first and second, trying to hold on to it, trying to reel him back in, is that number 46 car. But Ken Huber doing an awesome job leading here, multiple laps led here this evening. And the car looks relatively clean. And as we talk to many of the drivers here in the pre-race show, that's going to be the name of the game. If you can keep that car clean, you can survive this race. You can hopefully come back with a solid finish. And as we take a quick peek here from the blimp, you can see just how far out the 30 car of Ken Huber is. Almost 2 seconds now, and it looks like Eric Tallon, the 5 car, is around, and that's going to bring out the caution flag. See if we can pull that up here, and you can see the 5 car is in fact off the pace. So we will take a peek here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay for the third caution of the night, and it's almost 2/3 of the way through the race to only have 3 cautions here is definitely a testament to how good these drivers are. But we'll take a peek here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. A little bit of contact coming out of the corners. There you see the 82 In the 5 car, doing a little bit of battle. The 82 gets a little bit loose, kind of has to back off the throttle a bit, and it looks like the 5 car got loose coming out of the corner almost, and kind of got into the back quarter panel there. The 82 car sent them on around and sent both drivers crashing into the inside safer barrier. Tough break for those guys, but what this does is it gives the opportunity for all these drivers to come down pit road once again, and here they come. Everybody coming on down, and leaders included, come down getting 4 fresh tires and Sunoco race fuel, and they're going to see what all they've got, maybe make a couple of final adjustments here for the final 40 laps, final 30 laps. I can't even count here. That's how good we are up here in the booth. But all 16 drivers in the lead lap are, in fact, on pit road, and you can see Scott Patton almost pushing the number 30 of Ken Huber into his stall, and he wants to get down to his crew, get that service done, get down and away, and we're going to see just who has the advantage here. The advantage has to go to the 46 of Scott Patton. He's got that number 1 pit stall. James Lehman right behind him. Jeff Murk, you can see the damage-ridden car from there. Left side is up for Scott Patton. He's going to drop the tires, but he does not beat Ken Huber off pit road. It's going to be Ken Huber, Scott Patton. Looks like the 82 car is a lap down. Kyle Chadwick comes down. Charlie Widener, Wesley Holland, James Lehman, Kim Quick, and Vern Markheim, Christopher Davis, and Michael Milfeld Jr., the top 10 off of pit road. And a couple of drivers staying on pit road just a little bit longer, kind of bang out some of the virtual sheet metal and get some damage repaired here on lap number 70. The third caution here of the night, the Multi-League Cup Series action here at Darlington Raceway. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Give us a like, a follow, a share, all that good stuff. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Over 550 live iRacing broadcasts over the past year and a half. Almost 2 years coming up here in March, entertaining the masses as we've been doing. And you can check out all of our shows on demand over on the YouTube, and you can follow along here on Facebook and at the website, Vidane.net. And you can buy yourself a t-shirt, Vidane.shop, www.vidane.shop or Vidane.net/shop, whichever one works easier for you. And pick yourself up a Vidane TV shirt, a Rent a Race Car shirt, Angry Tree Guy shirt, all sorts of different merchandise from all the different partners and friends that we've got here at Vidane TV. And, oh, by the way, we do t-shirt designs as well. So if you're looking to get a real racing, a sim racing design, or anything like that, give us a shout. We do websites as well. Vidane Marketing Solutions coming in hot this summer, trying to make some of the magic happen. We know a lot of the drivers like to concentrate on making the car go quick. So we will take care of the website, the merchandise, the logos, all that good stuff for us. Drop us a DM, direct message, private message, whatever the kids are calling them these days, we'll be able to hook you up for sure. But making caution laps here, caution number 3 here on the lap number 71 here at Darlington Raceway, the Multi-League Cup Series here, brought to you by Stone River Outfitters. Be sure to check those guys out up in New Hampshire, a little stone and brick and mortar Stone River Outfitters shop, the premier outdoors facility in New Hampshire. Be sure to check those guys out on the web and on Facebook. We got it linked up on the Vidane Facebook page as well as the Multi-League Cup Series Facebook page. And again, we made mention these guys race 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. And there you see the lights are off in the iRacing pace car, getting ready to do battle once again here with less than 30 laps to go. So this is going to get interesting. We know that these drivers on the very second run there, we were able to see that these drivers made it 31 laps. So they've got enough tires, they've got enough fuel to make it to the end if, in fact, this does go green. What you saw in that shot there is a sea of red up in the front. A lot of these drivers sporting the playoff banner up in the top, the splitter down in the bottom of the front, and the red spoiler. Those drivers are in the round of 16 for the playoffs. The leader is not. Ken Huber trying to spoil the party and come home with a victory and make these guys try and point into the next round. Scott Patton spins the tires from P2. That's going to give a huge advantage to Ken Huber. Kyle Chadwick's going to move into the second position. Scott Patton going to hold on to third briefly, but the 41 of Wesley Holland going to get on around there. You see Vern Markheim up a little bit higher on the standings than he's been, but he's going to drop a lot of those positions back. Gets loose coming out of the corner, and he's going to drop all the way back down to 11th place. Everybody else seems to sort it out here. 15 cars still on the lead lap. A war of attrition here at Darlington. Been a relatively clean race. Only 3 caution laps here, 3/4 of the way through the race as we start lap number 74. But these drivers know that they need to get this race car around the track 26 more times, and they need to keep it relatively clean if they want to have any shot to get up here and pass the leader here of Ken Huber. Up in front, Kyle Chadwick, highest running playoff driver, in the 2nd position. Wesley Hahn, there you see, he's sporting that red banner. He is in 3rd, and Scott Patton in 4th, recovering from that slip up on the restart in the 4th position. He's trying to get up to the back bumper of the Wesley Holland number 41 machine and get up and around him. The 05 of James Lehman up in this group as well. So the top 5 cars have broken away from the field. Charlie Widener in the 95 Spam car, another playoff driver. He's holding on to 6. There you see Kim Quick in the Folgers ride. He's got that red banner. He doesn't stick out very well because he's got a red car, but he's still got that banner. He's in the playoffs. He's trying to hold on to a good finish in 7th. Christopher Davis there in the 38 Tim Hortons car, running in 8th. Andrew Schultz and Michael Milfeld Jr., a little side-by-side battle there for the 9th position, holding on to the top 10. Vern Markheim trying to break back in to the top 10. He made it all the way up to the 6th position before losing a couple of spots there with that little bit of a mishap there. You see Jeff Gilmore, the 57 Miller Genuine Draft car, 12th place for the 57 car, Bill Paradise. Having a good run so far, up 11 spots from where he qualified, holding on to the 13th spot. James Hearns and David Schreck going to round out the lead lap drivers here. Mike Herter, James Brown also still in the field. But back up front is still Ken Huber holding on to a very commanding lead, 0.6 of a second over 2nd place Kyle Chadwick in the 88 car. Wesley Holland holding on to 3rd, Scott Patton and James Lehman in the top 5. And you can see everybody pretty much single file here in the front pack for the top 5 or 6 cars that have broken away. And there you see that track map once again. A couple of drivers losing off the pace to 15th and 16th place cars. It's going to be David Schreck and the Mike Erder machine in the 117. Check that 17th place. That's going to be James Brown right up in there as well. A couple of drivers there on pit road still, but very cool little feature that we have here, kind of following along with your favorite drivers, seeing where they're at on the racetrack. Very helpful on the road courses too that we have coming up here. Made mention on the pre-race show, we've got the Charlotte Roval coming up here in the 2nd round. Before we get there, we've got a handful of short tracks to get through. Bristol and Richmond coming up, just like the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. So awesome action here on Thursday nights here with the Multi-League Cup Series, and they never cease to disappoint. Having a great race here, great, good, clean race. Only a couple of cautions here throughout the night. Ken Huber holding on to a commanding lead, 6, almost 0.7 of a second over Kyle Chadwick there in the 88 Air Jordan machine. Wesley Holland holding on to 3rd in that 41 car. Scott Patton, the pole sitter, in a 4th. You can see kind of right in the wings, right in the slipstream, if you will, the 41 car, trying to close on in, closing right in onto the 41 car. And we'll see if he can get up and around to make himself back on the podium here. But Scott Patton having a really good run with limited practice, arriving to the track. Got to the track late, and rather than get in the car, he actually came up here to the Vidane TV booth, and we interviewed some of the drivers here for the Patent Paints pre-race show. Going to be doing that a couple more times throughout the rest of the season as these drivers chase down the championship here for the Multi-League Cup Series. And if this is something you want to check out iRacing.com. That's what you're watching here. David Schreck appears to be in trouble, and it looks like he's going to call for the tow truck there in the Mel Gear number 9 car. So we still stay clean and green, but if this is something you want to try out at home, if you've got a decent computer, you can get yourself a steering wheel and pedals. Go to iRacing.com. It'll cost you $13 a month. It comes with a bunch of tracks and different styles of cars, and you can purchase additional content as well, including these Cup cars, Darlington Raceway, all of the Cup Series race tracks, a lot of short tracks throughout the Northeast, a lot throughout the world, really. We just added the Mountain Washington Hill Climb to the iRacing service, which is pretty neat. You can pick any of the race cars that you want to try that out. But a little bit of lap traffic there. James Brown, a 00 car right in front of the leaders. That's going to allow Kyle Chadwick to get right up to the back bumper of the 30 car. He's going to try and peek on down low, see if he can get some clean air on the nose and get up and around him. But no victory there for the 88 car just yet. So he's going to try on the high side, get up and around. And that's actually brought the front 4 cars together, nose to tail. And the battle for 5th was side by side briefly. That was James Lehman actually getting around James Brown there in the 00 car. But business starting to pick up in the front 4 cars. Everybody nose to tail as we've got 17 laps to go. A little bit of a wiggle there for the 88 car. Goes down, saves it, comes back up. May very well have just been breaking up the draft there as well. But you can see that car relatively clean in the 88 Air Jordan machine. You can see he's holding on to the 2nd position. Wesley Holland slowly closing in on the back bumper. Scott Patton is up in this group as well. 16 laps to go now at Darlington with the Multi-Elite Cup Series. The very first race in the round of 16 playoffs. These drivers have enough fuel. They have enough tires. If this does in fact go green, I think if we get a caution, we may very well see these drivers come down pit road. But there you see a little bit of a slip up from Kyle Chadwick. Drops back to 3rd, allowing Wesley Holland to get that 41 car up into the 2nd spot. Michael Milfeld Jr. having some race troubles. He is off the pace, but he is off the racing groove as well. That's a tough break. There's a lot of damage on that 123 car. Looks like he's going to come right down to pit road. So we stay green. 15 laps to go. Ken Huber still in command. Half a second lead over Wesley Holland, your new 2nd place driver. Kyle Chadwick in the 88 holding on to 3rd. Scott Patton and James Lehman 4th and 5th. Andrew Schulte, Charlie Widener, Kim Quick, Christopher Davis, Jeff Gilmore, the top 10. Vern Morgheim, the regular series champion in the 33 car, holding on to 11th. James Hearns and Bill Paradise going to round out the lead lap cars. 13 cars on the lead lap, and nothing out of the ordinary here at Darlington. This racetrack eats race cars for breakfast, and we heard a lot of the drivers on the Patented Paints pre-race show that survival was going to be the name of the game. You can't really finish the race in first if you don't first finish the race, and we're seeing that happen now. Ken Huber up front with a handful of these playoff drivers sporting those red banners across the hood. There you see the highest running playoff driver for Wesley Holland in 2nd position after having some contact and some trouble earlier on in the race, holding on to 2nd. A little bit loose there. Going to try and jump down low, break the draft up just a little bit, gather that race car back up, and see if he can potentially close in on the leader, Ken Huber. Skiles Chadwick, who dropped back to 3rd just a few positions ago, still holding on to that podium spot, but he's got Scott Patton there in his rear wings, trying to close into the back bumper, trying to make it back to the podium after starting on the pole here with limited practice here this evening. These drivers have the half-hour happy hour practice right before the race just to make some final touches, and 2-hour practice session earlier on this afternoon, as well as the drivers practicing all throughout the week as we ride on board with Scott Patton once again. And you can hear just how long he's off that throttle and easing back into it. And got on there a little bit tough coming out of turn number 4, wiggled just a little bit, but he was able to hold on to the steering wheel and make sure that thing is pointed in the right direction. So survival, the name of the game here tonight. Very, very great race throughout, but a little bit of conveyor belt action happening now. These drivers know that once the tires start to wear off, you really need to race the race car more than you race the racetrack. And these guys are doing one heck of a job at showing us how it's done here at Darlington Raceway. Laps to go here at Darlington, and you can see Wesley Holland has closed up to the back bumper now of Ken Huber, and it's gonna be one of those deals as the tires wear off. Have any of these drivers saved anything for the rest of the race, or are we going as hard as we can to the absolute end? It's gonna be tough to tell because a lot of these drivers, you don't really talk too much about the race car. They try and keep everything settled in underneath the hood, as it were. 8 laps to go here at Darlington. Had to go mute the cell phone real quick. Got an alert from John Peters Motorsports. They've got racing for GNG. Grand National Greg, who unfortunately passed away. Good friend of ATV, one of our biggest fans, watched along with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series that's going to be kicking back off here on October 5th. Watched every single one of those races. Loved what he saw. Wasn't able to get to the real racetrack too much, but joined in the sim racing community, and we got to had the pleasure of entertaining him. But you can get the 09 Racing for GNG shirts at John Peters Motorsports, nitro-apparel.com. You can get them, Nitro Designs and Apparel, picking those up. We'll get that all shared up on the Verdane TV if you're interested in picking up one of those and supporting the Peters family in a tough time. But big time fans and more importantly, big time friends here at Verdane TV. So definitely go check that out. But the action here, Ken Huber all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to lose it in the front straightaway. Wesley Holland now to the point. Ken Huber off the pace just a bit, and you can see that's exactly what Scott Patton wanted to see. He has gotten around the 88 car of Kyle Chadwick, now sets his sight onto that 30 car. Ken Huber, a big slip up there with 6 laps to go, and you can see there's a car coming on through that's got some fresher tires, it looks like. He's going to slide on up. That's the 123 of Michael Milfeld Jr., who unfortunately wrecked a few laps ago. Scott Patton now going to move on up into second. He's got 5 laps to try and make up almost 2 seconds on Wesley Holland, the leader. I think if this thing goes green, we might see Scott Patton catch him, turning the afterburners on. You can see there's the gap on the back straightaway. But if this thing goes green, I don't know if Scott Patton's going to have enough to get around Wesley Holland. But we will definitely see. And we've been relatively clean throughout the entire race. There you see the 123 of Michael Milfeld Jr. going to get his lap back, one of his laps back, the hard way as he powers on through the leader there. And that just shows you how good fresh tires are. If the caution does in fact come out here within the next 4 laps, I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of these drivers. If not, oh, the leader up into the wall just a little bit, still trying to hold on to that race car. And he comes back up into the high side. That is exactly what Scott Patton wanted to see. Scott Patton smells blood in the water coming out of the corner one more time. Less than a second here, the lead for Wesley Holland over Scott Patton up into the wall. You do not want to make that mistake twice, especially within the last 3 laps. And you can see all the way up on the high side. Advantage to that, if you do slip up and hit the wall, it's not that hard of a trip, not that hard of a hit. But when these drivers run lower lines, lower to middle grooves here on the racetrack, if you do slip up and hit that wall, big contact. And you can see still right around a 1 second lead. There you see the gap as we come out of turn number 4 for Wesley Holland. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go. Wesley Holland holding on to a lead after an earlier race incident in the 41 car. He's got that red stripe on the windshield of the car, the red stripe on the back of the car. Highest running playoff round of 16 driver is in the lead. He knows that all he has to do, make it through 3 and 4 and make one more lap here around Darlington Raceway, and he can almost take the next 2 weeks and try and do a little bit of studying here. Scott Patton, big wiggle coming out of turn number 4, crossing the stripe. White flag, white rag, 2 more corners to go here for Wesley Holland. He's going to come out of turn number 2, high, wide, and handsome. He knows getting through 3 and 4, hitting his marks. He's got some lap traffic ahead. Doesn't seem like he's got enough time to catch him, and that's no problem. All he has to do is hold on to that race car coming in through. He's got about a second lead over Scott Patton. There's the checkered flag. Wesley Holland coming home with the victory. He's going to lock those tires up. He's already starting his burnout. Winner, and on to the second round. Wesley Holland in the number 41 car. Scott Patton finishes second. Ken Huber comes home third. We're going to talk to those drivers as we wrap up the show here in the post-race show. And everybody coming on through here with the finishing order here. Ken Huber third, Andrew Schultz fourth, Kyle Chadwick rounding out the top 5. Charlie Widener, James Lehman, Christopher Davis, Kim Quick, and Vern Margheim coming home in the top 10. James Hearns, Jeff Gilmore, and Bill Paradise rounding out, the lead lap cars. And you can see the running order on your screen. But man, oh man, What a great race here at Darlington. 100 laps already in the books. And these guys put on one heck of a show for sure. And there you can see Wes Holland is pulling up on the front straightaway here, getting ready to burn those tires down. He's going to park that thing. He's not even going to burn the tires down. He's going to, oh, there we go. Burn out there for the leader and the winner here tonight of Wesley Holland, getting ready to burn them down. While he's doing that, we're going to see if we can talk to our third place finisher, Ken Huber, the number 30 Caterpillar car. Man, great race here, Ken. All the way throughout the race, led a bunch of laps and a little bit of a slip up there with less than 10 laps to go. What happened, man?
Oh man, I don't know. This is so what do you call it? Concentration heavy. This track is very difficult. I just rubbed the wall just a little bit on the straightaway there, and it was like a brick sticking out, and something caught me there, and just my whole car was ruined after that. I don't know what exactly I hit there, but it was just a brush, and after that, my car was junk, so I was just holding on.
I held on for a top three. It looks like Scott Patton was able to get around you for second place. But man, we talked to a lot of drivers throughout the pre-race show, the Patton and Paints pre-race show here before the race, and survival was kind of the name of the game, and that's almost a testament to it. It's really tough to get these cars to get around the racetrack, and I think the leader, the winner, just blew his motor doing his burnout. I think that's what that sound was. But a great race all in all here. Car relatively clean, couple of Darlington stripes there. Coming into the show, did you have any kind of plans? Did you think we were going to go clean and green for as long as we did here?
I had no plan. I figured that it was going to be a caution fest. Luckily, it was pretty clean for the most part. We were getting cautions about every time we needed to pit, so we didn't get any green flag pits in. But yeah, I thought it was overall pretty good. Like I said, it just had to concentrate so hard, and if you broke concentration, that's kind of what I did. Hats off to Wesley for winning this thing. Hats off to Scott. I know Scott had some issues like I did early and was able to recover from it. So yeah, hats off to those guys. Just tried our best.
100% came home at least with the podium finish here. Trying to spoil the show here for the playoff drivers, but coming home third definitely shows that that 30 Caterpillar car is very, very strong. And we do want to give the opportunity here, Ken, to thank any friends, family, sponsors, anybody out there watching at home. Floor's all yours. Here's a microphone.
I just thank Scott with Patton and Paints. Thank the league, all the league admins and everything for putting a great show on every week. Other than that, yeah, no, and you guys. So.
Much appreciated, and a great race coming home in at the top three, third place run for the number 30 Caterpillar car. Congratulations.
Thank you, Paul.
Sliding on down pit road just a little bit further. We talked to him. He actually ran the pre-race show, and had a couple of sandbags in the trunk because he qualified on the pole there after running 22nd in practice. But a great run for Scott Patton. Led a couple of laps, and Scott, you come home second, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, it's about as good as I can hope after tonight. It was, man, that takes some talent for these guys to run. I was thinking to myself, everybody in the top 10 or so, all these guys, Schulte, Chadwick, Widner, Lehman, certainly Huber, and hats off to Wes Holland. This is the epitome of a driver's track, and all these guys have got some awesome talent up here. So, second is certainly the best that we could do after our troubles early on. I think I heard Ken talking about some issues late in the race there. Unfortunately, he was the car to beat all night, but he probably had his issues too late in the race to really recover and take the checker like he was dominating all night. But awesome job for him, and we will gladly take a P2 finish. I know some of the playoff drivers had trouble tonight, so puts us in a pretty comfortable spot into the playoffs and to the second race coming up.
And you and I talked to a lot of the drivers here before the show, and survival was the name of the game, but really only 4 cautions. We did have a couple of single car incidents off in the racing groove, but all in all, relatively clean race. No green flag pit stops, but that's that might be a good thing for a lot of the drivers here, kind of struggling with the handling, and it's not even anything to do with the cars or the drivers. Tough racetrack to get around here. But second place, great finish, led some laps here, shows that the 46 car is definitely a contender for this championship. You've got I think 87 wins is the total so far this season. A lot of races here, and Got a couple of short tracks coming up in this first round still yet to come. Have you got anything for these guys coming up?
I don't know. I think short tracks. I think we should be strong there. If I remember right, I think it's a Richmond and a Bristol maybe. I look forward to those, especially Richmond. It's definitely more my style than Bristol is. But glad to be in this position. P2, behind Wes at Darlington. This was probably our strongest track of this round of three. So happy to get a podium finish here, and looking forward to those because those are kind of a wild card race, especially Bristol. We know anything can happen there, and you can be in back of the pack in no time with no time to recover there. So glad to be up here so far, and we'll see what next week brings.
And as I reach into the back of the 46 Miller Lite car and open up the cooler, I knew it was in here. Ice cold Miller Lite for everybody standing around the race car. I want to give you the opportunity to thank anybody else that makes it happen here for the 46 team and the league as a whole.
Yeah, certainly you guys at Vidane TV, appreciate all your work. That pre-race show was awesome. Appreciate you allowing us to do that, Paul. Hope the fans enjoyed it. Stone River Outfitters, certainly for the title sponsor. Check them out. And we've got them on the car. Or actually, no, we don't have them on the car. We got Miller Lights. Like I said, reach into the trunk there. I think I'm going to park this thing and go back there myself and see if there's any left. But and then a shout out to the other teammates. Mark, certainly, I owe him one. We bounced off the wall early on. I don't know if he caught that one and came off the wall, and we kind of used his 4 tires to straighten us back out. So at his sacrifice, unfortunately, he was stuck in the pits all night fixing the motor on that thing. But he'll be back next week. Certainly, he'll be back in the points hunt. But appreciate him letting us use his fenders to keep ours straight. And I think that's about it. Appreciate all your time and work at Vidane TV, certainly.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do the Patented Paints pre-race show again. I think we'll do it once we kick off the round of 12. Give us an opportunity to talk to the drivers remaining in the playoffs. And I think we'll do that at the start of each of these championship rounds. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great. That's an awesome idea. I like that.
100%. Trying to entertain the masses as we do here at Vidane TV. But Scott Patton, the driver of the number 46 car, owner of Patented Paints, be sure to check him out on Facebook, facebook.com/Patented Paints. Second place, not too shabby. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, Paul. See you guys.
And this poor guy, I think we're going to go over to the start-finish line because he blew his motor doing his burnout, and I don't think anybody's over there to push his car back. His pit crew's too busy celebrating here. Wesley Holland, a little bit of trouble earlier on here in the race, but, man, you come home with the win. Talk to us, man. Great race.
I mean, what a roller coaster of a race. Who knew this was going to be? I mean, I was super excited. I crossed the line, let go of the steering wheel, and ended up wrecking there coming across the line. So, I mean, I've never thought that I would be so excited to win a league race. It's so hard over here to get wins. So, yeah, I mean, wild ride tonight. Started out fairly good and just put myself in the fence on a restart, kind of like how I ran this race earlier in the season. So I'm excited that I somehow got it under control there, rolled around with damage, and left that quick repair in the tank there with 30 to go. So fixed her up and just saved there at the end. Finally got around Huber there.
Yeah, we see the Dragon Lair Vapors number 41 car still parked on the start-finish line after that post-checkered flag incident, I guess we can call it. But always fun and exciting to win a league race or any race, but league race especially when you've got that red stripe across the top of the windshield there, signifying to us up here in the booth, the fans, and everybody else at Darlington Raceway that you're in the round of 16, and now you're in the round of 12. You get to move on to the next round and not have to worry too much about the next couple of short tracks, Bristol and Richmond coming up. That's definitely got to be a relief.
It's definitely big to get a win in this league in general, not only being in the playoffs here. So I'm glad we finally got it together. Had a lot of second place finishes and a lot of races that I led, and it just didn't work out for us. But yeah, it was a wild ride there at the end. I was so ecstatic that but Huber just lost it a little bit off of 4, and then I did the same thing 2 laps later and thought I was going to lose it to Scott. So I mean, a roller coaster there at the end.
100%. Emotions high, low, and everywhere in between here for the Multi-League Cup Series. You win here at Darlington, and we got some cool. That is a good-looking paint scheme. Got to give you the opportunity to thank all your friends and family and sponsors, anybody that may be watching at home. But one question I do have: what's the logo there on the hood of the car? It's kind of a tribal-looking. Is it a bull?
It's a dragon. It's a dragon blowing vapor out of its nose. So it's kind of a weird design to see on the hood. But Scott did what he could to make it look really good on the front of this car.
I like it, and that makes sense because it's Dragon Lair Vapors on the quarter panel, so that everything comes full circle, yin and yang. But want to give you the opportunity to thank anybody that makes it happen for the 41 car winner here at Darlington, the very first race of the playoffs. Moving on into the next round.
Just everybody here at this league that puts this on for us, lets us have a place to race every day of the week, pretty much. You guys, the broadcast, of course, Scott Patton with Patented Paints on this scheme that he made up there for me. It's an awesome deal. So, yeah, big shout out to him and just all my buddies over here at Bad Apple Racing. And for the first night, my spotter, actually had a spotter tonight. So my spotter, Bobby, shout out to him for putting up with my BS all night long. Mad that I had a junked race car for 70 laps. So.
But still came home with the victory here. Congratulations, man. We'll see you next week, and we'll definitely see you in the next round for this championship hunt.
I appreciate it. We'll see you guys.
Absolutely. Great run, winner, Wesley Holland, number 41 car coming home. He's moving on into the next round, and a great race here at Darlington. Phenomenal race, really, as we get everybody starting to kind of leave the track just a little bit, and you see the finishing order there on your screen. Great race here at Darlington, and action all the way throughout the race. Very, very clean as well. Want to take just a quick opportunity to thank the sponsors here tonight to make this magic happen here on Thursday nights. The RSI Group, Kim Quick, he's the lead network engineer and president of that company. Check them out at rsigroup.net for all your networking needs. They'll be able to make the magic happen here for you. PRS Solutions Incorporated, quick and easy removal of VCT laminate, wood tile, and glue down carpet. Give them a shout. They're fully insured. 813-732-6828. And also by Kong Beer Bong. Be the life of the party and make the good times better with a Kong Beer Bong. Just came out with the camouflage orders, so be sure to check those out. Kong.2drunk.net. Have a lot of fun with those. Stone River Outfitters, made mention of them earlier on in the broadcast. The series sponsor here for the Multi-League Cup Series. Check them out on the web. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out at their brick and mortar shop up in Amherst, New Hampshire. The premier outdoor outfitters and fly tying shop there. Stone River Outfitters. Great to have them on board. Patented Paints, the official painter of the Multi-League Series and painter of the winning car here tonight and a lot of the cars throughout the field. Be sure to check them out. Facebook.com/patentedpaints. Bedane Marketing Solutions, LLC. Check them out. Check us out on Facebook. Shoot us a message. We do websites. We do t-shirts. We do hats. We do logo designs. All that good stuff. That way you can concentrate on making the car go faster. We'll take care of everything else. And also by us here in the booth, the Verdane TV crew. If you want to throw us a tip.verdane.net. Not necessary, but always appreciated as we bring the action here. One final shot there of Wesley Holland, tonight's winner, still parked on the start-finish line. Blew that thing up after doing his burnouts here, and well, he and the crew are just too busy, celebrating that victory, moving on to the round of 12, locking themselves in to have to worry about the cars. We'll get that taken care of before we leave the racetrack, I am sure. Taking a quick peek here at the schedule, actually off for a few days. Monday night, usually you'll see the Sim 500 Trans Service Cup Series, but we are off for the Labor Day weekend. So make sure everybody out there is safe, and if you're looking for some racing action, shoot on over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/VidaneTV or /C/VidaneTV. You might just have to do a quick search for Verdane TV, and you'll find us in there. Over 550 live iRacing shows on demand over the past year and a half, and we're going to be adding to that in a big way coming up here in the fall and winter months. Back here next Wednesday, Tim's Corner Motorsports brings us Tim's Corner Live, episode number 31. Loose Slugs Cup Series right after that at 9:05 Eastern Time. And then next Thursday, right back here for the Multi-League Cup Series. And there you see it, the Neps Shift Marketing Design Grand National Series logo. They're coming back October 5th at Daytona, kicking off their season. It's going to bring us all the way through the winter months and making sure while the weather's cold, the racing action is hot, hot, hot. And really looking forward to that and all the other big-time shows, big stuff coming up. TCM's coming back with a weekly racing series. The TCM 300 just announced on this past week's episode of Tim's Corner Live, episode number 30 with the Oxford 250 champion. TCM 300 going to be in November 18th, I believe it is. November 20th going to be the tentative date for the Bottle Rocket 350, the big show for the Verdane TV and the Verdane Racing comeback in partnership with the Liberty Racing League. November 22nd, big race coming up. Brian Macklin putting on a show here, and we'll have all of that news over on Verdane.net as well as the Facebook page, facebook.com/Verdane TV. And speaking of social media, be sure to like us, subscribe to us, share us, let your friends know you just got entertained by some iRacing action. And we do this thing every single week throughout the year with at least 2 or 3 shows. And we're going to be bringing the action here this winter as well. But that's going to wrap things up here. You just watched some coverage here of the Multi-League Cup Series. Darlington, race number 1 of the playoffs. Wesley Holland winning the race, coming home with a victory and moving himself into round number 2, locking it in. That way he can take the next 2 short tracks and just do a little bit of homework, do a little bit of studying, and see if he can find something that makes the car go just a little bit better for somewhere down the schedule. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth from everybody here at Verdane TV, from everybody at the Multi-League Cup Series, and all of our friends, sponsors, partners, fans, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in here live tonight. We'll catch you on the flip side when we do. We're going to be doing it live.